I am down to my very last DJ in the yard. For now, I'm taking on a couple different projects that you guys will see here soon, but this is the last one, and of course it's the best. Gotta say the best for last. It's another 95. It's a beautiful silver color, gray, silver. I mean, it's an interesting color. It has the 4.0. It's all-wheel drive, and this one was obviously in an accident. It was hit on the driver's side, and it bent the lower control arm out as well as the knuckle on the axle. So the axle is being replaced. The other thing we're going to be doing to this is obviously, come on guys, throwing a lift on it. So we need to replace this axle. And aside from that, she runs good, she drives good, just needs some tranny fluid obviously. She was sitting for about 5 years. And it needs a back window, like the other one did. Had some punk teenagers break out the back window.
All right, who did this? I'm not mad, I just want to know who did it so I can punish them.
What can you do? It happens to be the opposite side of the green Jeep we just did. So my window guy is gonna come and pull the other back window out of the parts Jeep and throw it into this one. So that part, not even worried about it. Biggest part right now is this axle. So I'm gonna set you guys up and just start kind of taking it apart. You can see the knuckle up here was bent a little farther back than it should. It's almost rubbing on the spring. And then under here, our lower control arm mount on the axle side was bent quite a bit. So yeah, I'm sure even the upper ball joint is just toast on this thing. So that's why we're just replacing everything. Unfortunately, this one has the CV style drive shaft, but it ain't a big deal. We're just gonna reuse it. And obviously that is not the right size because I was not paying attention. Check that out. Secret weapon right there. Damn it. So I went ahead and just disconnected the drive shaft at the transfer case side. I'm just gonna get rid of the CV shaft altogether. I don't like them. I really don't like them. I prefer the U-joint drive shafts, which I have a spare one sitting around. Got the old axle pulled out and I got the new one under the Jeep, about ready to be put up. I'm doing a little budget lift on this Jeep. I literally just took 3 coil spring isolators. That nets you about a 2-inch puck right there. I get them for free at my junkyard and I'm throwing them up there. It's a nice little budget lift. Isolators are on and stacked. It is not sketchy, okay? And now it's time for this guy. So the trick with these, if you plan on doing this, I find it easiest to try to get the upper control arms in first, because the lower control arms, you have all that room to get them in there, whereas the upper control arms, you have to fit it in the little slot right there, which doesn't give you a ton of room if you get the bottom ones in first, and then it's just a huge pain to try to push the top of the axle in. It's easier to get the top in first and slide the bottom of the axle in. Control arms are on. I'm gonna throw this back together, just zoom through it, and we'll move on to the next thing. Okay, I saved the boring stuff for myself and not you, but axle's finally done. I'm not putting the wheels on yet because I have to go get some 31s on them. So tomorrow morning, we'll put the junkyard lift on the back, and then we'll start on this fender right here and get the new yoke and drive shaft in as well, start getting this thing buttoned up. We're gonna do the exact same thing on the rear. We're just gonna take these coil spring isolators and we're gonna stack them. These ones are not designed to where they can just stack on top of each other. So we're gonna grind these lips off here on 4 of them to make them flush. Let's pop this rear axle loose and we are ready to get her buttoned up. Just like that. So right now, we are waiting for some batteries to charge because I didn't charge any because I'm not prepared. And 2, waiting for my 31s to be mounted on the wheels so I can throw them back on. So while we're waiting, we need to tackle this fender.
Give me that!
it is pushed in quite a bit to where I cannot get to the one bolt up here that actually holds the fender on back here. So we need to try to bend this out, but first I'm gonna get, well, actually no, we're gonna bend this out first without taking the bolts out so I have all the support that I can get. Oh, almost have it. Found the drill where it wasn't supposed to be, like always. So, now I can get this guy out. Well, we're doing that by hand. There we go. Gross. And it looks like our actual fender support is okay. We're not bent. We need to bend this piece out as best we can. Look at that. Pretty dang straight to me. Check it. What? That's a beautiful piece right there. Make sure that goes in. Look how good she looks now. Sweet, dude. I'm actually surprised I found an exact match too at the junkyard. I was a little nervous for that, but looks good. Before I leave, I need to figure out my drive shaft, oh my gosh, my drive shaft situation. I can just get this to temporarily sit in there. Oh shoot. That looks like it's actually gonna work. That's sitting on its weight. We're still good. We did got some lights found, guys. I did not think we would because those junkyards get pretty picked apart, but I found them. I did find one at one junkyard and one at another though. It wasn't at the same junkyard. There's not even a bulb in there. All right, I need to find a bulb. Looks like I've already done a good job of stripping this one. I lucked out because I found 3 at the junkyard and they're free, so why not take as many as you can? There's obviously a lot more there, but I only took 3, okay? So we got like a 33.3% chance of one not working or one working. So just a little math I did in my head, if that, you know, if that's something you're into. Let's see. No, wow. Well, let's just see. Oh, nope. Just happen to not have a working bulb. We work. Good. And we are finally done underneath here. So we need to prep the fender for the new tires, because the new tires that I got, they're an aggressive piece of rubber. And this means smacking the pinch weld, flattening it flat, okay? And cutting the bumper so that you can turn your wheel and not rub. We need to take care of all this broken glass right here so the window guy can come in and just swap it out. Nice and easy, no mess. Now there is a way to do it, to keep all the glass from falling on the ground and get all the glass to fall inwards. All you do, is you take your hammer, and instead of using this side, you just use this side. And then it gets all over the floor. You thought I was gonna show you a cool trick, didn't you? Nope, I don't care about that. Check that out. Just picked them up. Meaty as hell, okay? These are the Cooper Evolutions. They're not a super old tire. I think they came out in like 2017, but I mean, I really like them. I run these on my personal Jeep too. I run 33s. Super quiet on the road, super grippy off-road, and they're actually very good in the ice and snow for basically a mud terrain tire. They're not as loosey-goosey on ice as a normal mud tire is. So I really like this tire. I picked these up for 300 bucks, and I think they look great. So let's throw them on. She's a good looker, ain't she? Just like every single one of these. Anyways, back on the ground, as you can see, our cheap junkyard lift gave us 2 inches. Looks just like a regular puck lift. Basically is. The 31s look amazing. Definitely gives it a more aggressive look. How our puck lift holding in strong under there. We do need to get this steering wheel on. The wheels are straight right now, and this is a little sideways. So I'm gonna do some corrections there so that it actually seems like it's going straight down the road. And then we're gonna fill the front diff up with fluid because we leaked out quite a bit. And then we get to take it for a drive as soon as we fill it with transmission fluid for sitting for so long. So fluid, we gotta do. And straighten the steering wheel. And then we're ready to go. I just farted and it is very hot in here. That is going farther. I'm spinning it the wrong way. Professionally aligned. One other thing I noticed, this door is bent out just a little bit. So we're gonna bend this frame back in, kind of like we did on the red one, and get that straightened out, and then we're ready to start this thing up and take her for a drive. Ooh, that did it. Check me out. Not perfect, it humps out just a tiny bit there, but the seal is squished, there's no daylight, so you won't get any water in there. Looks like she needs a thermostat. Been running about 30 minutes, and she is not getting over 100 degrees. Pulled out of the driveway. She shifts smooth. Steering wheel stays kind of straight. Hands off the wheel at 70. She's good, baby. She's good. All right, that little bug deflector's coming off. She's just slapping the hood. So it was going great, and then it died on me coming back. It just shut off. No stuttering or anything, which makes me think it's not a crank position sensor, but it's possible. So what I've done so far is I had a spare ignition coil and I plugged that in. I doubt you can see that, but I plugged the ignition coil in, so we're gonna see if it shuts off again. I've sat here wiggling this wiring in the computer and it's not dying. So I don't think it's a computer issue. I'm thinking either coil or crank sensor or cam sensor. It could be one of those three. Also sucks when no check engine light actually comes on, so kind of just working in the dark here. So unfortunately it did die again. I drove it around for almost an hour and then it died. So it's very intermittent. It is very possible that it could be the computer. But what we're gonna do, I just turned the key, gotta make sure we have fuel pressure. very little fuel pressure. Might not be a good thing. After 2 turns of the key, we're at 30 PSI. So I'm gonna drain it. Push that. And then we're gonna try this again. So we do have fuel pressure. My fuel pressure gauge just likes to leak down a little bit. So once the fuel pressure came out good, I was still starting from 0 again. I had nothing to go off of, no check engine codes. It was not dying on me. So I started it. I played with the computer connections a little bit, because sometimes if you do that, you can get it to stutter or die. If it's a computer problem, nothing. I tapped on it, wiggled the connectors, hit some bumps pretty hard just to see, nothing. Drove around for another 2 hours, would not stall. Finally, pulled into the driveway, put it in park, shut off. Started it, stalled again, would not start back up. So I tested the connectors to the crank sensor and the cam sensor. You just unplug them, you plug them back in. Sometimes it resets it and it'll start back up. Still nothing, still no check engine codes, but I did decide to just run the codes anyways. And the way on these older cars, pre-96, you just turn the key on and off a couple times and back to the on position. The check engine light will flash at you, and guess what? I had a code, and it was for the crank sensor. Let's check for codes. There's our typical code 12. Oh, 2, 1, 2, 22, 1, 1, 11, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's good. 22 and 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm just going to double check these codes and we'll get to diagnosing. Okay, I'm a dumbass on the first code, code 22. That's for the temperature sensor, which I disconnected. But 11 is for, it's saying no signal to the distributor. Basically, it could be a bad crank sensor or cam sensor. I've already replaced the cam sensor, so that means we have a crank sensor issue. Well, got the new crank sensor. So I'm really not gonna be able to get the camera in a good spot to where you can see me actually putting it in.
That's what she said.
So I'm just gonna throw it in and we'll kind of go from there. All right, crank sensor is in. She's running again. Got the new sensor in there, new used, 160,000 miles on it. So we'll see what happens. So I'm gonna call it a successful day. It did not stall on me. It ran nonstop for 3 hours, didn't even stutter. Went up and down the road, sat idle in gear for 30 minutes, drove it around again, let it idle again, and nothing. So we are ready to get this thing cleaned up, and that's honestly about it. This one was a fairly easy one, other than that frustrating little thing I was going through. But like I said, our windshield guy's coming. He's gonna get this done on Friday. Look at that. All silicone back on there. Gonna let that dry, and while we do that, it is time to vacuum out and wipe down this interior, get her our sparkling clean. We're on. Well, look at that. Finally getting up to temp. Looks like it's time to take it for another loop on the freeway, make sure we're all good to go, and hopefully this time it doesn't stall in the middle of the road, because that was embarrassing, especially when I had to get out and push it all by myself to the side of the road. Actually, a really nice lady got out and helped me. She was very strong, but yeah. We don't want that to happen again. I don't think it will, so let's go. Okay, this is where I died last time. I'm gonna stick to the side of the road just in case, but might be okay. Look at that, we passed the spot. We're already made it farther. Blinker is on, we are about to turn. We have made the turn. Guys, we made it. Check this out, they literally just shoved this sun visor into the seal. That is not the right way to do that, but we're getting rid of them anyways.
Oh, would you look at this?
Yeah, well.
Would you look at that?
All right, windshield's on. It's all cleaned up. I'm gonna get her posted for sale today, and we'll see how much we make. Well, guys, literally 2 hours after I posted it, I sold it. These have been selling very quick lately. It's weird how the time frame fluctuates every week on how fast you sell something. But I bought it for $500. Okay, we gotta do the breakdown. You know this already. Okay, bought it for $500. Into it, including the Jeep, $1,018.71. Sold it for $2,500, which leaves me with a profit of $1,485.29, which once again is an amazing profit margin to have. I'm making at least $1,000 per Jeep, and I'm happy with that. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you like the videos. Hopefully you do. And we'll see you next time.